Hey, it is Box Office Buddies. It's been a little while. You know, still this quarantine stuff going on, lockdown. Can't go to the movies, so I'm not seeing as much. Got the quarantine beard. It's getting real at this point. Can't wait to go back into the movie theater and check out some good movies. I've been stuck with Prime and Netflix. We were on a good streak with Netflix. The last two movies that I reviewed, The Platform, Extraction, I recommended both those movies. Well, that streak is over. I saw The Wrong Missy. Now, I don't usually do this on Box Office Buddies. Usually I try to keep my reviews spoiler-free or have as little information as possible. This is heavy on the spoilers. I'm pretty much going to say exactly what happens in the movie. So if it's something you haven't seen yet and you're interested in watching, stop. Just all you need to know is that it was awful. This movie should be studied in film school for comedy writers to know what not to do. It is that bad. Like, I've rarely seen writing this bad. It is the worst movie I've seen this year so far, for sure. So, okay, whatever. I'll tell you what happens. Again, spoilers, so beware. You've got David Spade playing Tim Morris. He's trying to move up in the corporate world. He's been at the same company for many years, and he's looking for that big promotion. He's also looking to find a new romantic interest. His fiancée left him, and the movie starts. He's on a blind date, and he meets Missy.
Nothing you could ever do would disappoint me. I love you.
He is not into her at all. Neither are the viewers. And she turns out to be crazy. We're going to get a bit more into that. One date, and that's it. Forward a couple months, he happens to meet someone else. Just a chance meeting.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. This has turned out to be the best time I've had with a guy in a really long time.
Me too. Me too. With a girl. Yeah. Your Miss Right was Miss Maryland. You gotta bring her to Hawaii, dude.
She's a former beauty pageant winner. She was an athlete, really smart. They have the same types of interests. They get along really well. Things seem like they're finally gonna click, right? And they do. She has to leave to catch her flight, but he gets her number and is excited for when he'll get to talk to her again and continue this relationship. Well, there's a corporate trip to Hawaii, and his best friend convinces him to invite her to come on this trip. The Molly Sims plays the attractive new interest, and her name is Melissa.
It's a no-brainer. Text her now. She said yes!
He ends up taking his friend's advice and inviting her on this corporate trip to Hawaii. And she accepts. They've never been on an official date yet, but she's agreeing to go to Hawaii with him. And he's so excited sitting there on the plane.
I've got this girl meeting me here, and she's amazing.
And who sits next to him? That crazy girl from months earlier. Her name is also Melissa.
Missy, what are you doing here?
That text from you was wonderful.
I screwed up so huge. Remember that crazy blind date I had texting my dream girl? I was texting that crazy girl.
To the best weekend ever.
And he invited the wrong one. So I guess this could be a fun movie if it were, him trying to get away from this situation and overcome her as an obstacle to his other goals of the romantic interest with the other, and moving up into that promotion role that he wanted.
Go canoe out to an island and just chill, like if there's one nearby or far.
However, they try to subvert expectations, and turns out he doesn't want that promotion. He ends up quitting his job at the end, and instead of trying to get rid of her, which is what happens at the beginning, he falls in love with her. Now, this can happen in a movie sometimes where you'll say, oh, well, you know, he discovered this about the person, and it makes sense now. This is not that situation. This is not a situation where he wasn't into her physically or there was something about her that he was... She's just all around bad. And I just don't understand how you can write such an awful character and then expect the audience to buy into a love story with her. And to expect the audience to be charmed by her. It doesn't work.
Are you rich? You're obsessed with me. We're either gonna end up married or I'm gonna end up dead in a ravine somewhere.
What?
I'm down for either.
She has no social awareness. She is rude. She's manipulative. She hypnotizes people, and somehow this is a quality that Tim is attracted to.
Missy is not who I thought she was. She's free. She's fun. I'm a little crazy too.
Really?
There is nothing redeeming about her in the first 30 minutes of the movie. And then all of a sudden she magically becomes this desirable person that becomes more of a love interest than the one that he got along so well with at the beginning. And I mean, I see what they're trying to do again. If you want to see a movie about how looks aren't important and it really is about the personality and you should get to know someone, Shallow Hal is actually a comedy I really like. It's not maybe critically acclaimed, but it has a special place in my heart. I do enjoy that movie. This is not that. This just turns basically a complete psychopath into someone desirable through a few little scenes that don't really add up to anything. And you can't turn someone with absolutely no redeeming qualities for the first part of a movie into someone that's suddenly amazing. This Missy character, the one who ends up being the love of his life, apparently, she's played by Lauren Lapkus. No knock on her. She played the part really well. She did a good job. And, you know, David Spade was David Spade. It was fine. And there were actually moments that made me laugh. Nick Swartzen, who I appreciate, he had a fun little gag where he's the best friend. And he knows all of his buddy's passwords, so he's constantly hacking his phone and seeing what texts are being sent. It's just a fun little gag that plays throughout the movie. I enjoy stuff like that. But some of the humor was also awful, over-the-top slapstick. Someone falling off a cliff and, being fine a couple hours later, things like that. It just... It was weak in a lot of its humor, particularly the slapstick. The characters are such caricatures, which can be actually enjoyable sometimes. I don't necessarily hate that, but in this case, they're just poorly written caricatures. It's just some weird scenes. I mentioned the falling off the cliff thing, and other bad slapstick like that. There's this weird scene at the end where the boss is like the king of the ocean, and he has people come dressed as mermaids. Just weird stuff that's not really funny and just is more awkward to watch than anything else. Not good awkward, like just like I feel uncomfortable for the filmmakers. It's just, oof. not a believable story. I'm watching this and I know where it's going, huh? As soon as she ends up on the flight instead, I knew, okay, I know what's gonna happen. This is somehow he's gonna fall in love with her instead of the ideal one. But in my head, I was saying, can it really be that? Because how are they gonna pull that off? She's so unlikable. You can't turn someone that unlikable into someone better than the one you really did like. Because Molly Sims does play a character. You see the chemistry. You see, okay, yeah, this is the girl he's always dreamed of. And it works. It's not just on a physical level. They have connection on so many other levels as well. Why is he interested in the other one? I mean, they give you reasons, but it's weak. It's so weak. It's poorly done. If you want to watch a good movie about a love story going on in Hawaii, check out Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's a funnier movie, and the story actually makes sense. Oh my goodness. I usually don't do this. And especially with a movie I don't like, but I went back and watched the first 10 minutes to make sure I wasn't crazy, and I was like, okay, well, was she that unlikable? Or maybe it was just in my head and I needed to go back and check it. No, she's really that bad.
She's alive! Damn it!
I mean, she literally rapes him. How is this something that is okay and accepted in today's age in Hollywood? It just, what? What? What happened to no means no? If I'm gonna emoji the movie, I'm just giving it like that despair face. Seriously, it is. There are good comedies and bad comedies, and then in that group of bad comedies, there's like the even worse ones, and it's like it's bottom of the barrel. I really like comedies, even comedies. I find comedies get too harshly criticized, and I often find that a comedy that isn't so well received, I'll still enjoy. This had very few redeeming qualities. Kind of like Missy. Just, it doesn't work. Hopefully I'll be back with a better one next time, because this was rough. But I look forward to it. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and comment. And yeah, I'll be seeing you when I catch another movie. I'm not even really sure, like, what is the message here? It's so confusing. Like, are you supposed to take someone on vacation before you completely dismiss them as a potential match?